Okay, so I got my hands on the Comica V40 shotgun mic that, by the way, I bought. So we'll go ahead and throw that out there now. Didn't have this sent out or anything like that. Comica, if you want to send it a mic out like this, I would have appreciated it. But you did. It's all good. In any case, I needed a mic like this, so I bought it. I'm going to be talking about real world experience with this mic. I legitimately used this for my sister-in-law's wedding because it is a wireless mic, and why I will never use this in a real world experience again, a situation again, because of how bad it was. And I'll get to that when we get to that section. But in any of the case, let's talk about the mic. Is it worth it? What comes in the bundle that it comes with? And why I do like the mic, but why I don't like the mic might just be a deal breaker for you. Let's hop into the video. Okay, so while we recording this video, I have a lot of construction going on outside of my home. I got a retaining wall being put in and stuff. So if you hear anything in the background, that is what it is. All right, so let's talk about some of the key specs and features on the mic. So this is a 32-bit float recording, which means you have a nice big dynamic range, more flexibility in post-production and stuff like that to have control over it, to help with peaking and stuff like that. Another cool thing about this mic in particular, it does have 32 gigs of onboard storage, which is probably about 40 hours of recording for backup audio, which means on the mic itself, you can hold down the button and you'll see the light come on and turn red, which means it's recording. So not only can you record it to your subject or your device, your phone, your PC or anything like that, you can use this mic with, you can also record it into the mic directly. So if you want that backup that people talk about all the time with audio recordings, like, hey, make sure you have a backup of some sorts. This is the perfect backup because you legitimately can record straight into your source as well straight into the mic recording wise. That way, if something happens between you and the source, you'll have a backup. This does have a dual mode, so which means it's a 2.4 gigahertz plus wired output. So you can, again, use this wirelessly, which is what I'm doing right now with my PC. I got my little device, the transponder or whatever you want to call it right here, and the mic is up here with no wires to it at all. So there's some B-roll up on screen, of course, to show you that little setup I got going on with the PC, which I actually like because who doesn't like not having wires? Another cool thing about the mic itself, it does have an app, the Comica audio app. And once you connect it and everything and get it connected to your mic, there's a lot of features you can do on it. And I'll just bring it up here or somewhere around here on screen for you to check out while I talk about it and stuff. But pretty much you have your receiver, you can see up top, and you can control the gain to the receiver from right here. I can press on it. I have it at +10 right now. And if I wanted to bring it way down, I could bring it down. Totally notice audio way lower, or you can go as high as -18. And this is putting out a lot more audio and stuff. Now I keep it at +10. This is just, I think, the normal, the default or whatever. So that's just what I keep it at. And it's giving me pretty much -20 to -15 out of the box, closer to that 20 mark, if I'm being honest. So I'll have to bring it up and post just a little bit. It also, you can see it shows it's recording and 32-bit float. You can change it to 24-bit float, but why? Why would you do that? The other thing about this mic, the audio on here and stuff, you can have two transmitters hooked up at one time, which means you can have two mics going and stuff at the same time. If you buy that kit that has the two mics in it, the little bit more expensive kit, that honestly, if you're going to be doing like podcast setups and stuff like that, and you're looking for a mic like this, that would be your best bet in my personal opinion, just because you're getting an entire whole nother mic for, I think it's like $100 more or something like that. I'll throw it up on screen so you can see it. But underneath that, you do have a low cut, so I can turn peaking. Okay, so it must have did something when I turned it on. I saw it peak really bad for a second, so if it is there, I'll leave that on so you can hear it. But this is what the low cut sounds like with it on. Turn it back off, and now we'll throw in the high filter bypass on. So it's, this is what it sounds like. Just throwing it in here. I will also, at this part, make it raw from there to here, whatever. And then also you do have a mute right here. I'm turning that off and you can put mute on, and now you can't back off. It does take a second to transfer, make that change, as you can see in real time as I'm doing it. It does take a split second. It's not like I'm off like that. So that's another kind of real world experience that could almost ding it in a way, because if I'm using this in like weddings or something like that, and I need to do something right here, right now, I need to mute the mic right here, right now, because there's a feedback coming through or something like that, and I need to figure out where it's coming from. It's going to only get louder until it goes mute, and it's just annoying. You know what I mean? But I'm not really dinging it for that. It is a little ding. It's just a little ding there. But in any case, That is it. And that's the app in itself. You can also come in here up top. You can do stereo. We have stereo on. I don't know why, actually. It should be mono. I'm recording mono into my PC with this, so I'm not sure why it says mono or say stereo there. Now I'm showing it mono. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Okay, so this does have a super Carteroid 14mm golden capsule for focusing, capture, and clarity for things like YouTube and interviews and all that. So it's got a nice big fat capsule in the middle of it right there for you. Just, yeah, that's what it says. So that's what I'm telling you. So the physical build and the look of the mic, I know I'm a stickler when it comes to looks and stuff. I really like the way the mic looks. It's a longer mic if I'm being honest, but the look of it, the design, the like spots that look like they're on it stuff, it looks pretty cool. I love the way the mic looks. The accessories and everything that comes in this box, it comes nicely packed. First of all, it's a nice soft shell carrying case that has 2 layers to it. In the top layer, you're getting like all your accessories. You get your foam wind guard like this, but you also get an actual wind guard if you're gonna be outside and stuff. I'm inside controlled audio and controlled environment, so I really didn't feel like I needed this. I'm testing it out anyways without it. See you later on if I made a mistake. But also you get all the cables you need. So, you know, whatever you need for cable wise to go from your tablet, your phone to the receiver, or you want to go into your camera, you get the 3.5mm to 3.5 as well. The receiver itself has those options on it, receiver and or 3.5 and USB to go for from receiver to whatever you're receiving to, as well as on the mic itself. You can actually, I was able to hook the mic directly up to my cell phone and get audio to go through directly like that without the receiver. So if you're gonna be like cell phone or camera right there and the mic right there mounted all together and stuff like that, you can go that route if you want to. So keep that for what it's worth. Take that for what it's worth. Now it does have it has a AA mounted thread, so you can mount this pretty much anywhere. I have it mounted above me right now because we are using it. I have it in the little shotgun mount with the thread and the adjuster all set up the way I want it to keep it out. Do have the AC it just cut on, so I am kind of curious if you guys are going to be able to hear that in the video or not. And the carrying case itself is padded, keeping everything nice and safe. And again, I do like the carrying case. They did a really good job on that in my personal opinion. So the transmitter itself has an onboard OLED screen. So you're able to see things like gain, mode, battery, etc., all just right there. It does have the same thing on the mic as well, where you can see the battery level if you're recording from the little LED lights. And it does, I know I didn't mention this earlier, on the mic itself, you can set the the low pass filter and the high pass filter, turn them off and on from right there on top of the mic itself by pressing the button. Now, I haven't done this personally, but I have heard of people using this particular mic having issues accidentally pressing buttons and stuff, setting this mic up. So just be careful when you do that. Maybe you want to double check to make sure you're, one, recording if that's what you want to do to have the double record feature I talked about earlier, and 2, you didn't accidentally turn a low or high pass cut filter or high pass filter on or off if you're trying to run it either or. Personally speaking, I like to do all that post, so I run it raw into the PC, other than I do have a noise gate on to kind of get rid of some of the lows myself, as in like breathing and hopefully air from the AC unit. Okay, so another cool feature on this is actually do have onboard mic monitoring for the receiver itself, and it is really, really accurate, like in closeness. I mean, if there is a delay there, it is so minimalistic that, is that a word? Minimalistic?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There's such a non-delay there that I don't notice it. It's really, really low. I have it on mono, so that's the one thing that could possibly make it kind of like, is if you like the stereo in the headset. I only hear it in my right ear right now because I have mono on instead of stereo. Okay, so another thing on the mic itself, it does have a safety mode on it, and this is pretty much just to help keep from clipping. This will typically bring down the decibels from like 6 to 10 minus, to kind of help just in case you get real loud all of a sudden and you speak and you don't want to peak. So the receiver and the mic can last between like 8 to 10 hours from my understanding. I haven't really tested this out to know because I don't do long shoots like that. I have my mic and everything set up, and I can tell you by looking at the app again, because that's nice to be able to do, is I'm showing the receiver at 8 hours because, well, the receiver is plugged in, so that makes a lot of sense. And I showed that the mic itself is at 6 hours and 52 minutes left for record time, or on time for transmitting and all that. So that's where you're at. And I've never had an issue with it. And if I do, typically I just unplug it and charge it for a little while and it's good to go. So battery life, in my opinion, is perfectly fine for this setup. Even if you're shooting like short form films outside and stuff like that, you should be perfectly fine using a mic like this. Now, let's talk about the bad on the mic. And it's starting right here with the range. All right, guys. So one thing I don't like to do with brands is try to just trash a brand because of something going wrong, especially if it's a user error on my behalf. Sometimes as creators and stuff, we sometimes just get it wrong. It is what it is. I was about to go into this whole spiel on how absolute garbage this mic is when it comes to the receiver and it being wireless with this. And the reason why I was going to go into that, just to make a long story a lot shorter, trust me, I'm saving you guys like 6-7 minutes here, is I use this for a wedding. Somebody asked me to be in a wedding, or not be in a wedding, but use this for a wedding. So I used it, and when they were talking into it for the ceremony and passing it back and forth between the bride and groom for their vows and stuff, it was cutting in and out. I had to almost like hold the receiver where it showed connection to this the whole time, like falling away, being about 10 feet away. I was irritated because I was like, man, this is a brand new mic, blah, 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 blah. I literally, like, the entire time I'm making this video, I'm just absolutely dog watering this mic, calling it trash, worst mic ever. I would never use it in real world scenarios other than like YouTube studios and stuff like that. But I decided as I was editing the video, let me do some research. Let me actually see where the receiver, the antenna is in this mic itself. Come to find out, it's right here where you would hold it at. So what essentially was happening is, and I've seen a lot of people make videos on this mic and mention how bad it is too. And that was another reason I was like, well, everybody else has mentioned it, so it has to be bad, right? The receiver and the antenna is here at the bottom. So when you're holding a mic like this and you're doing an interview or something like that, and it's cutting in and out 50% of the time is what people are saying, then yeah, it's because you're covering the antenna up and it's having bad signal. Now it could be a stronger antenna and all that, and I do believe that. And there are still a lot of conflicting reports about this receiver not being super strong with this mic itself. There are a lot of reports of that. I can confidently say though, using it in my studio and everything else, the receiver sits over here, the mic is up here. It's usually pretty good. You know, I haven't had no issues at all with it. That's what I'm going to pretty much use it for. So when it comes to where I said the bad on the mic, I wouldn't use this as an interviewer or something like that, weddings or anything like that. Anytime you got to hold and cover up the receiver on the mic itself to go to or the antenna on the mic to go to the receiver, then, you know, it's not going to be any good. And again, with all that being said, the receiver and the mic, even if you get too far away, it's still not that great. Like there are still interferences and stuff like that. I'm just going to cut all that, what I talked about, out and just let you know that this is a great mic when it comes to mounting it and using it in that way when you're not covering up the actual antenna by holding it with your hand. So take it for what it's worth. Move it on. But what do I love about the mic? The audio sounds great out of the box, if I'm being 100% real. And it gets even clearer after editing. You've been hearing it the whole time edited. What I'm going to do now is going to go into RAW in 3, 2, 1. And let me even go further in the RAW. Okay, so what I did was turn noise gate off completely. I have everything raw, so even in post-production, I'm not adding anything. The only thing I might do is bring the audio up just so you can hear it, but I'm not gonna take any background noise out. I've had a TV downstairs going this whole time. Construction has paused outside, so you ain't gonna hear any of that anyways, but this is what it sounds like raw. Peter Pan pecked a pickle. Peter Pan pecked a pickle. I'm going to lean in a little bit and lean back a little bit. Lean with it. Rock with it. Lean with it. I'm going to look directly at the mic and talk. Peter Pan pecked a pickle. I'm going to look at you. Peter Pan pecked a pickle. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. And that's pretty much what you hear. This is raw. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Okay, so other things I do like about the mic and stuff is the 32-bit float. So you're able to get that extra to be able to edit and help out when edit and posting and all that and stuff. So instead of 24, it does make a big difference. And I do absolutely love, my dogs decided to start barking. And I do absolutely love the storage on the mic itself and being able to have that storage time. So when your mic interferes, like in a YouTube video, which I haven't had that happen yet, my receiver is like right here. You kind of see it like right here. And the mic is right there. So if it interferes here and throughout the video at any time, we're gonna have a bigger issue of probably sending the mic back. If you're doing movies or short form videos and stuff like that outside, you can just use the recording on there and try to use that, but just know you have a backup, which is nice because you would just literally plug this into your PC from the USB port on the mic itself and pull the storage right off of there, and you'll have good audio 32-bit right from the mic itself. I do like that there's an app control on here itself. I like being able to see in real time and stuff. So instead of me, like if I want to check right now, instead of me getting up off my chair, I can just literally turn this on and see that I have the stuff going in. I can also hit record from the app myself. So now it's recording. So if I want to make sure I have backup audio that way, I can do that as well. I might note that if you hit recording, the battery level goes down because it was at 3 hours or it was 6 hours. Now it's at 3 hours. And I just stopped the recording and I just wanted to see if the battery time would go back up, and it does. It goes back up to 6 hours and 44 minutes. So that's pretty cool to see that too. So the app there is nice and it's simple and effective in my personal opinion. I do like that it's fully wireless, even though I can't trust it. I keep going back to that. I can't trust the wireless function outside of the studio and stuff like that. But if I'm shooting UGC videos or I'm shooting YouTube videos like this and the receivers are right next to the microphone and stuff, I'm good. You know, and if I don't even want to do that, I just want to, if you're okay with taking your audio after the fact and just putting it in post, you can just use the mic without the receiver, record straight into the mic itself and not even have to worry about the receiver, period, and just add it in post. It's super easy to do, especially nowadays in like DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I do recommend the mic if it's for in studio or you're going to be right there or using onboard recording with the mic and bypassing that if you're in the real world situations outside for vlogging and stuff like that, or weddings or whatever is going to stand in front of you, a piece of paper and the receiver itself. But yeah, for the price of it and stuff, I do like it. I do think it sounds great, and all the features that do come with it and everything that does come with it, it really does. It's a great mic in my opinion. Again, it's just depending on use case. Let me know in the comments below, is that a deal breaker for you, the receiver being cutting out like that? As always, you can find what I've talked about in the video in the description below. And as always, peace and love.